Oui, bonjour, je voudrais un thé s'il vous plaît.
Un thé nature?
Citron, oui. We rehearsed at my place. I hired a baby grand piano and we just rehearsed without sound equipment. We rehearsed completely acoustically. It seems to be a Vaya tradition because when we started off with Dirk and Willie, we were rehearsing in Willie's living room. We did a couple of rehearsals with the drummer, but the drummer lives in New York and he could only make it for the last rehearsals. But we did rehearse with the drummer in my living room as well, yes. The piano player is somebody I've known Michael Blas, because he lives in Brussels and he's a known musician in Brussels. He's a very well-known musician in the jazz scene here in Brussels, and I mean I've known him because he was friends with other musicians that I used to work with, and so sometimes we'd go out, and so I've known him for quite a while. Thierry Van Durme, the guitar player, is somebody I've been working with for years now. He was doing the last tour. He's done tours before with the big band, with the big Vaya con Dios band, and Sal La Roca, the musician who plays upright bass, I've met a long time ago, and I don't know. I always had this idea in the back of my mind that if one day I'd need an upright bass, he would be the one that I first would look up. When you are playing in your living room, you don't worry about what people are going to think. You just enjoy the music for the music, and that's what I'm trying to do with this band. Pauvre Diable, because my son played that song by Don Omar, the original version by Don Omar, to me, and I was completely taken aback. I just loved the atmosphere, I loved his voice, I loved the lyrics, I loved everything about the song, and I just felt like I thought it was also a story that I could very well relate to, and I felt like writing a version in French, and I just wanted to, I don't know why, I knew I had to record that song. We've always had different styles on our albums. I think it's also it's a reflection of the place, of Brussels as well. We are sort of like the center of all, a point where different cultures meet. And when I listen to music, I don't only listen to one kind of music. I listen to all, to very different styles of music. So I think it's normal that the music that I should make is a little bit of a combination of all the things that I like to listen to as well. If I could copy someone, I would copy Otis Redding. I think his voice is very, very special, and also the way he phrases the songs is very, very, it's very genuine. It's very, very interesting, I think. I like good literature, I mean, I've gone back to reading classic literature. I've read Madame Bovary, I think, for the 5th time, and I've read lots of books from the 70s written by French authors, women, like Christiane Rochefort. I like to read a lot. I like English literature. The last one I got was a Samuel Beckett book, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I like Joseph Conrad, While I was in New York for the mixes, Danny Williams came over and we did the photo shoots in front of the Hudson River. Yeah, and I was on the New Jersey side, yes, which is very nice because then from that side you see the whole of Manhattan. You see the towers and everything, and the ones that are missing. At Sony BMG we were discussing it, and then they asked me, well, who would you like to do a duet with? And the first person that came into my mind was Aaron Neville, because I've seen Aaron Neville a few months ago here in Brussels, and I was just amazed at his voice. I mean, this man has a unique voice. It's just something that you can't compare to. His voice is uncomparable. The song is like, like what is a woman if a man doesn't treat her right? And the fact that a man sings that gives it another dimension, I think. I thought that was interesting. Dirk, Willie and I, we had this friend of ours who was opening a fashion shop in Ghent. Very trendy, very nice, and in a beautiful place as well. Very well decorated and stuff. And she wanted to do something special for the opening. And she wanted to look at it like a vernissage more than a regular opening cocktail. And so she asked Dirk and Willie to go and play acoustic for the occasion. And then they asked, and then she fell ill or something like that a couple of days before. So since I had been working in clothing as well, I called her and said, do you need some help? And she said, no, I've found somebody to stand in for me, but if you would like to do something for me, why don't you come and sing? So that's how the three of us got together. We knew each other, of course, but we got together in order to just rehearse a couple of songs that we played acoustically without any amplifiers or microphone or anything in the shop, and that's where it all began. Well, I think that everybody who's recording a song, everybody hopes for success. So I think it's always a little bit in the back of your mind, I mean, that you hope for this, Now, if you're being realistic, with your reason, that there's a very slight chance that it might be a success because there's so many people doing all kinds of things that never get successful. So I think it was a surprise. Yes, it was a very pleasant surprise. But that's what we were hoping for, of course. The first thing was like, it's just you walk into a place and you hear, your song being played in that place, in that restaurant, in that club or whatever. Or, I just remember when I was at the very beginning in the summertime, I heard somebody driving by and I heard my song coming out from that car. And, that's just like, that's amazing. It gives you a real kick. But then, of course, it's a kick and that's it. You can't live, on one kick. You just need more kicks, to carry on. I think success is something that makes you feel the loneliness, because also because of people's reaction. I mean, they're very excited and they're very, like if they like you, they like all want a little bit of you and they praise you and they put you on a pedestal and everything. But that's, it's nice, but it's not what can really fill your life. I mean, to me, I need deeper relationships than that, than the relationship that I have with the public. I think it's nice, but that's, I prefer. What I need is to have a few good friends and my family and people that I can relate to and rely on a more personal basis. There's a difference between people from the north and people from the south, People from the north are much more reserved and get, you get them to react towards the end of the show. Whether when you go to Casablanca, for instance, or Athens, there's a lot more interaction between the public and the artists, But as far as the public is concerned, I've found out that we have a very mixed audience. We have people my age, we have younger people, we have older people, we have gay people, we have straight people, we have, it's very, very mixed. And I like that very much because I just think it's, it's not nice to live in a ghetto, whatever ghetto it is. I like to play wherever people want me to perform, Of course I have, I have a soft spot for Lisbon, for instance, because I think it's a beautiful city. But then, I mean, I like Istanbul as well. I like Jerusalem. There's all kinds of places that I like. So, no, I have no preference. I stopped because I really felt that. Merci, thank you. I felt that I was at the end of my rope a little bit. You know, I had. It's like, you know, I don't know who said that. If it is George Bernard Shaw, I think that two terrible things can happen to you. It's like, first, when your dreams never come true, and the second is when your dreams do come true. Because when your dream has come true, then, you know, you're just going to have another dream. So I went to school and I studied. I followed psychoanalysis classes, and I finished my high school, which I had never finished high school, and then I went to the university and studied 1 year of philosophy, and then I just thought it was too serious for me. It was just a bit boring, and, you know, like being amongst intellectuals all the time, I just thought was not my thing either, you know. And I think that's what's a bit difficult for me. It's like I like very many different aspects in life, and you never find everything in one group of people, you know. It's when I was with the intellectuals, I just thought they were a bit too busy with rational thoughts, and I started missing the music and missing the pleasure of making music with musicians and being silly and you know. I started writing songs a long time ago, a long time before we even started Vaya con Dios. I was over at my parents the other day, and my father found in a box, he found a bunch of pieces of paper and photographs that I had written something on the back of, and so I've been writing songs for a long time. Ever since I can remember, I've been writing things. In my dreams, I wanted everything. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to write my own songs. I wanted a perfect life. I wanted everything. At one point, I was on the verge of quitting because I was already in my early 30s, and my son was getting bigger, and my parents were sort of saying, like, you know, now you've been trying this for years and you're still not getting anywhere. How long are you gonna, you know, like it's about time that you think of settling down and have a normal life. And there were times that I was doubting, and I remember making a phone call to Claude Moran, who's a famous Belgian singer who I admire very much, and saying to her, look, I think I'm, you know, if I have any talent, please tell me, but if you don't think I have, please tell me also, because I just get the feeling I'm not getting anywhere, you know, and it's just so difficult to make ends meet. And she said, yeah, but, you know, she said, of course you have talent, but you're always trying to do things where other people are involved. Do your own thing and try that way, and I'm sure it will happen. And that's exactly, you know, what happened, yeah.